Welcome back, everyone. Well, you know, if you live in the 518 area code, actually, if you live anywhere in the country, but we're really lucky in the 518 area code, that there's an organization that provides a very unique service to the community and the benefit of the community. And it's called Make-A-Wish, Northeast New York. I got it. I didn't stick off in there. And joining me today is Tim Riley, who's the Director of Communication and Marketing for Make-A-Wish, Northeast New York. So first, welcome, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Real nice to have you here. Make-A-Wish Foundation, usually hear the word foundation attached to it, right? We all pretty much know the name, but for our viewers, give us just a little bit of the background on Make-A-Wish.
Absolutely. It really all started with one child back in 1980 in Phoenix, Arizona, and the child was stricken with leukemia, and his wish and what he had always wanted to be, if you will, is a police officer. And this was his goal in life, and his mom unfortunately knew that that wasn't going to happen. So she spoke to some friends of hers who were in law enforcement, and one thing led to another, and a group got together and decided that they were going to make that come true for this young man, Chris Grecius. And they did. For a day, he was the first, and I believe still to this day, the only official one-day state trooper in Arizona history. And he got a uniform and spent the day as a police officer and rode motorcycles and helicopters and hung out with the police at the shop and everything else. So his wish came true, and he passed away a few days after his wish. But it had such an impact not only on him, but everybody who was associated with making that wish happen.
Right, and that spread.
Exactly.
Didn't it? I think Tim was telling me before we went on air that the police department was inundated.
It really was. The story from one of the police officers who was originally involved was, for about a year, it was sort of a local charity, and it sort of was growing nicely, and they granted a few more wishes for kids. And then it got picked up on NBC News just as a 2 or 3 minute segment on a national evening news show. And literally blew out the phone system at the Arizona State Police. They didn't ask for money, they didn't ask for people to call, they didn't ask for anything, yet it touched a nerve across the country, and all of a sudden it was off and running.
Well, you know what, you're touching a nerve there, because you think in terms of illness, you just think in terms of traditional medicines or something like that, but the emotional impact that happiness has on your well-being, these are things that we don't really discuss or know a lot about. But consider a child who may just have that one wish that they'd love to have fulfilled, and unfortunately they may not see the day when that can happen. So there you are, coming in and saying, you know what, we're going to make that happen for you. That's really a terrific mission. One other thing too, I asked him before we went on that how does someone qualify for this? And Tim was saying that families call in and whatever, and the criteria is really life-threatening. And you had said something very positive about this, that since you've been involved with the organization, the changes in medicine. So life-threatening actually is moved from...
Yeah, I think the whole real criteria has changed over the last 20 years or so. You've really seen a transition from a point where 3/4 of our kids probably did not survive their illness to today, where probably 3/4 of our kids do survive their illness. And what we really talk about a lot is that power of a wish, and how it's really part of the medicine that helps these kids and their families kind of get through what's a very dark time in their lives.
Well, you know what? The uncertainty alone is enough to really just confuse everybody. And this is such a wonderful, positive focus for a family, right?
Yeah, what we see is kids and families sitting in a hospital room talking about, what should the wish be? Should we go to Disney? Should we go to California? Should we go see the New York Giants? Would you like to meet Taylor Swift? Whatever, what can you think of? And just having that mental break of saying, let's focus beyond the hospital room. Let's focus beyond now.
In terms of Make-A-Wish Northeast New York, I asked him, I said, well, so how many wishes have you granted? Over 1,500 wishes, about 100 a year, you were saying.
Exactly.
That's a lot. That's a lot to deal with, and of course they're all different.
Exactly,
right?
and everyone is unique.
unique.
You know, even every Disney wish, and Disney is still probably a third of all of our wishes.
Oh, I bet it is. Meeting
you know,
Mickey Mouse, right?
Meeting Mickey, or meeting the princesses, or riding the rides. Everybody has every kid has a different kind of focal point about it, but each one is truly unique, and we try to make sure that carries through.
Obviously, all of this needs funding. This is a very well-supported organization, by the way. You want to get connected to an organization that really does work with the community. It's Make-A-Wish. The big gala is coming up.
Exactly.
At the Hall of Springs.
Yep, right here in Saratoga.
Now, that's Saturday, right? The 28th or something?
Correct.
Yeah, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, it's almost sold out. So we'll give you an idea of the support that we were talking about. But there are also tickets available.
Yep, there are a few tickets available yet.
Yeah, so, you want to be part of something great that night. The big gala at the Hall of Springs in the Saratoga State Park on the 28th, Saturday the 28th. But you want to know something? Because I've seen it myself. Over the summer, there are a lot of events. There are golf tournaments. What's that motorcycle ride?
Wax Ride.
Yeah, that's right. I never get that right.
Up in Queensbury. It's a ride through northern Warren and Washington counties. And I think last year we had roughly 400, 450 motorcycles and probably 500 or 600 people. It's the largest thing like that in the Adirondacks. And it's a huge fundraiser and a huge awareness raiser.
It's such a strange name. I never get it right, but of course we covered it last year. And there is a whack.
Exactly.
Yeah, who is this person?
Yeah. He's the man who started it, and he and his friends have put it on for a number of years, yes. And it's really a highlight for bikers throughout this part of the state.
Tim, it's a very unique organization, and fulfilling the wish of a child who's got a life-threatening illness. You hope they survive. It's not certain. But boy, to give them the opportunity to meet Mickey Mouse, to meet Taylor Swift, like you were saying, all of these wishes that you put together for these kids. And by the way, all the proceeds from all the events that we mentioned go to Make-A-Wish to help fulfill these wishes, right?
In Northeast New York.
Yes, got it. Yeah, right in our 518 area code,
exactly.
As you were saying. Well, Tim, thank you so much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, wonderful organization, and I can tell you, we do a lot of interviews here, and Tim can't get the smile off his face. He's very proud, obviously, to be involved with this organization.
It's hard not to be excited about it.
I bet it is. Making wishes come true. Right?
Exactly.
It's great. All right, everybody. If you want to see this interview again, you can head to our website, looktvonline.com.